Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can implement authentication with Genkit using ExpressJS, and I will be also be creating a front-end application, so I will be showing you the full end-to-end flow. So let's get started. So first I have just created one simple folder called my app. You can name it whatever you feel like, and also inside my terminal I have cd'd into my app as well. So next what I'll do is I'll just create one folder called backend. Again, you can name it whatever you feel like. And next thing is we need to create a front end as well, right? So for that I will be using Vite, but you can use whatever framework you feel like. I'll just keep everything simple, so I'll just copy this command. I have created another tab for our my app folder, and I'll just run this command. So it will ask me give it some project name, so I'll just name it as front end, and I'll just select vanilla framework. I also want TypeScript. Then I can just cd to front end. I can just do npm install. Okay, and here I'll just, on the first tab I will just cd to our backend. Then here I'll just run npm init -y, so inside our backend folder. So this will create the package.json file. Let's just come to this particular documentation. I'll go to the get started URL because I want to install few dependencies. So I'll just copy this particular command, npm install genkit and genkit-ai/google AI, and I'll just paste it over here. So this will install the dependencies for me. Next what we'll do is let's just come back over here, and we also need to install this express dependency as well. So again I'll just copy this and I'll just paste it over here. Now we also need to install the course dependency, otherwise you will face issues related to course when you try to access it from front end. So that's why we are doing npm install course as well. Okay, now let's come to our backend first, and inside this I'll just create one file called index.ts. Now first let's just come over here to this particular documentation, and you need to create an API key. So I will just delete the existing API key. You don't need to worry about this. Just hold on a second. Yeah, you just need to click on this create API key button, and here you need to select Gemini API, create API key in existing project. We'll copy this API key later on. Let's come back to this documentation over here. So first what I'll do is I'll just copy this code and paste it over here. Now let's go through it one by one. So here firstly these are all the imports which we have. We don't need to install Express. This is part of Genkit dependency which we have included. So Express is bundled with it, so we don't need to install it explicitly. Here we need to first pass our API key. So you can just do something like this API key. Let's come over here, and I'll just copy this particular API key and I'll paste it over here, Command V. Then at the time of me recording this video, the latest version of Gemini, which is the free tier one, is Gemini 2.5 Flash. So that's what I'm using over here. Then here I have defined one simple flow. It takes an input which is of type string and output which is of type string as well. And here you can see we are just generating the data and sending it back. So whatever you ask it, it will just give that data for you. And here we use const app equal to express app.use express.json, and here we do app.post simple flow. So this is the path which or URL which the front end will be able to access, and here we just do express handler. Here we just wrap up this simple flow inside this express handler, and we are listening on port 8080. Okay, now what we'll do is let's come over here, let's just scroll down, and here you can see this is the authentication mechanism. So there are two ways of doing things. Either you can use an auth context, or the second one is using a middleware. According to me, using a middleware is a better option, but I will show you both the ways. So let's go through this. So first what we can do is just copy this code, and we can just paste it at the top. Okay, so here we need to add this imports. So again I'll just go to the documentation, I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. And we also require this user facing error, so I will just import it from Genkit as well, Command V. So let's go through this. It's pretty simple. So what it expects from the client side or the front end side is to pass a header called authorization, and here they have just hard coded this value. Typically you would not hard code this inside your project, right? You would, maybe the front end will pass a token to you, and once you get the token, you will have to decode it over here in this particular thing, and once it has been decoded, you check whether it is a valid token or not, then only you can proceed. But just here we are taking a shortcut, we are just checking whether the authorization is not equal to open sesame. Now this can be anything, like I told you, in production this should be a JWT token or something else, whatever makes sense in your project. But yeah, typically you use something like this. And here if you want to return something, so here we are just returning an auth user, and again we are hard coding things because we want to keep things simple. Alibaba, same thing happens in middleware as well. So these are more or less the same thing. You can use either of this approach, whatever makes sense to you. So again, inside authorization header we are checking if it is not equal to open sesame. Again, you should be checking for your JWT token, decoding it, and if it is invalid, then you can return unauthorized. Otherwise we just move on to the next step if it is if everything is good. Okay, now let's see how to use it. So here they have given an example. So again, I'll just copy this and replace it inside our code. So here you can see we can just paste it over here. And here they have given did a mistake. It should be context provider. Unfortunately, this is a wrong thing which they have given in the documentation. Now, like I said, you can use either one of these things. So what we can do is we can first comment out middleware. Let's try to use it just this one. I don't think it would be a good idea to use both of this. You can do both of this as well, but typically I would go with the middleware approach. Okay, now we also need to use CORS as well, like I told you. Otherwise you will face CORS issue from your front end side. So what we can do is import CORS from CORS. Okay, command S, and let me just check my notes. Okay, all we need to do is just scroll down, and here we can just do app.use CORS, command S to save. Now you can just start your server. So again, I don't have a proper server, so I can just do npx tsx index.ts. You can create a proper server. I mean, it is a proper server, but I have not specified the command inside package.json. I want to keep things simple. So this will start our server soon. Let's go to the front end, and inside the front end you have some default code inside index.html. So what I will do is I'll just create one button over here. On click of the button, we will be invoking our API. ID equal to, I don't want this. Okay, I'll just tell it to click me, and here ID I will pass it. I will pass the ID as button. Okay, then let's come to the not public. Go to src, go to main.ts. Here there is some default code. I don't want all of this. I'll just remove this. I'll remove this as well. And first let's get hold of our button equal to yeah, so thankfully this gave me all the code. So I'll just add a click listener dot add event listener. Okay, why is it not giving me? It's not helping me out. Okay, so here you can see. Now let's see how to call it. So for that, again we will come to the documentation. So here you can see, firstly we need to install Genkit to inside of a front end. So let's go to our front end, npm install Genkit. Then we just have to copy this particular import, and I'll just paste it over here, this particular import. Again, there are two ways of calling this. You can either stream the data sorry, or maybe if you want the data in one flow, you can use it. According to me, streaming is a good practice, but again I'll just copy both of this. It's up to you what you want to use it. So yeah, so I can just paste it over here. Again, I will just make this as async. Okay, and instead of say hello, maybe I'll just ask tell me about Taj Mahal. Again, like I said, you should use only one of this approach. So I'll just comment this one out. Again, I'll just ask the same query to the second one as well. Again, make sure you have entered the right correct backend port as well as your correct URL. So I will be using the streaming one because that is the most recommended way. And here whatever data we get, we are just printing it to the console. Okay, and if you want the final output as well, so here you will get the streaming of data, and this is for getting the final output at the very end. Again, I don't recommend this. You should always use chunks of data. So I think that should be it. Let's run. So you can just do npm run dev on your front end side, and here is your application. Okay, so I'll just open it inside a new tab, and I will open the inspect tool as well, because we are printing it to the console. Okay, why is this not coming? Okay, so here is our console. I'll just clear everything out. I'll click me. Now this is giving me an error because permission denied. We have not passed the headers, right? So we need to pass the headers as well. So to pass the headers, what you can do is you can just use headers colon, and here you can just do authorization. Okay, I think it was giving me. So here you can see I'm passing OpenSSMA, which was the header expected by our backend, right? So I can just refresh this. I can click on click me, and now it is taking a bit of time to get the data. So there is no error because I'm using the free tier of Gemini. So just be patient, and it should give us the details about Taj Mahal soon, I guess. Let me just check if my backend is running. Okay, my backend. Okay, this was the previous error. Don't worry about this. So I think so here you can see I'm able to get it took a bit of time, but hopefully you got the point, right? Now suppose if you want to use the middleware concept, it's pretty simple. Just uncomment this and you can completely remove this. So it's up to you what you want to use, and but just make sure you restart your server, because I am not using nodemon. So okay, so our server is running. Let's come over here, and again I'll get the same output, nothing different. So I'll just click on click me, because I'm passing the same header, right? If you change the header to different instead of OpenSSMA, you will get an error. Like I said, you should not, again hopefully you saw the output. Okay, like I said, you should not be passing OpenSSMA over here. This is just for ease of use, because we are not developing a production here. You should pass proper token from your front end application, which will be decoded on the back end side. So suppose if I pass OpenSSMA 1, now this will fail. So if I just click on click me again, here you can see 403 unauthorized. So hopefully you got the point. That's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.